evening, Christopher Moss.
It's nice to see you both respond.
Fly over.
I'm not, no. But interesting, we've got 43% chance of rain as XRL Bobbers decides to be an absolute retard.
This last time Lee's doing. Lee, why didn't you go over the hill?
Lee has also destroyed his car, so absolute brilliant drivers, and I'm the only sensible one not to destroy my car. However, we have got a fun-filled action of drivers tonight. I believe we've got something like 12 drivers, so it's a good turnout here in F5000. And yeah, so predictions.
Got some new drivers in tonight, actually, just so you know, Chris. One of them, who's actually at the front of the queue, is Lawrence D89. I mean, I've been trying to get him in here for absolutely ages, and he's finally decided to come in. And he's a quick driver. I'm actually going to predict him for pole position.
Interesting. Lee, who's your prediction for pole? Too late.
Alex Ham 123.
Alex Ham. I'm going to go with Piggy in the middle and go for Craig Senna.
Interestingly, well, Tank Panda is obviously one driver that I'm watching at the moment. He's the second car of the snake, and yet he's weaving down the pit straight, which is rather an interesting one. He's got a Red Bull right behind him.
And it's Craig Senna.
That could give Craig Senna a bit of a straight line advantage as they come up.
Oh, he's just knocked him out of the way. That's poor driving.
Well, Tank Panda, for some reason, was ghosting at the beginning of his lap. And now he's just stopped completely, and everyone's just going to have to go past him, and indeed they do. Interesting, that one. It was anyway, but I'm going to go back on board with Lawrence D89 in the now new Force India driver, coming to the end of Sector 2, just completed Turn 5 now. Decent through there, through Turn 6, rides the curb well, and avoids the grass and the gravel on the exit of Turn 7, so not too shabby so far from the new driver. 2 more corners to go into Turn 8. Gets the apex at the end of the corner, rides the curb well on the outside, kicks up the grass though as he comes into the last corner. Bit of an extend there, but nothing too severe, and it's a 109.4 as the benchmarker for the rest of the drivers.
Well, Craig Senna now coming towards the end of his lap, and he's done a 108.7. That's a good lap, especially seeing as he had that little incident and he corner cuts the first corner. But seeing as he had that little incident with himself and the Ferrari, that's still a very impressive lap time.
It is. Well, Tank Panda's actually just come along across the line to do a 24.9. I think he can find at least about 16 seconds. As he
to be fair, he's quicker than one of them GP2 drivers. What was his name? LGS, isn't it? Yeah.
Intermediate, come on.
No excuses, Lee. No excuses.
We're not taking that. Tank Panda goes through Turn 2. He's done that pretty well, but it's not been a really good lap for him so far. And he didn't open the DRS as quick as he should have done there, so he hasn't got the straight line speed as he should as he's come down the hill now and towards Turn 3. His car seems to be squirreling under braking or in a straight line. I don't know if that's him maybe jolting around or something, but he seems to be struggling so far, Tank Panda, in through Turn 5, and well, he kept it clean round there, so that was decent. In through Turn 6, rides the curb well and does on the exit of Turn 7, so decent at the end of the second sector now as he starts Sector 3. 2 more corners for him to go now. He's down into P11, not quite last position just yet, but this last sector, very clean from him, avoids going too far wide onto the curbs. It is a huge improvement, obviously, and he actually got a corner cut. That must have been at Turn 2.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm seeing this, right? XRL Killers is on provisional pole.
Yeah, but Alex Ham now is going across the start-finish line. Is this going to be pole position? It was a corner cut. He got a corner cut.
Hashtag banter.
Yeah, Killers on pole with a 108.3. As Craig Senna's now done a 108.5, so he's within 2/10. Lawrence has actually now done a 108.8 in his P3.
I think he got the corner cutting one in there because he cut the Turn 7 and he's boxing.
Can you cut Turn 7?
Because Lee said you could.
Well, Lee must know because he must have done it.
I mean, Turn 6.
Yeah.
Turn 6 to make you happy.
No, it's Turn 8.
Must be Turn 8. Anyway, Gravedigger, who's P4 on a 1090, has just completed the second sector, just got 2 more corners to go. There is a car in front of him, but hopefully that won't distract him as he comes to complete his lap into turn 8, and it is that Red Bull actually dives into bits, and actually shows it's Gravedigger.
Alex Ham, though, he does go around turn 8. He just about kicked it just on the outside.
I wasn't too bothered when it came to the qualifying, it's just the race I said to keep.
Alex Ham now goes P3 with a 1086. He took the final couple of corners pretty iffy, to be fair, but nonetheless a provisional P3, as the dogs agree clearly.
Indeed they do. Well, Tank Panda, who's still in P11, I think he's going for another lap time here. I think this is like his third or fourth lap in a row now. Tyres will probably be starting to go off a little bit, but nonetheless he's still continuing. He's come through turn 3, through the acceleration zone of turn 4, and into the difficult tightening turn 5. Keeps it well inside the inside there and beautifully on the exit. Well, good driving there from Tank Panda. Through turn 6, oh, he's had to ease off through turn 6. He went too far wide and got quite a lot of understeer in that Ferrari. Is he going to dive into the box on this lap, or is he going to complete his lap? He's gone a little wide at turn 8, in through turn 9, and once again goes slightly wide there. It's going to be an improvement actually, nonetheless, and it is. It's a 109.8. Puts in P10.
He's the best now, starting one of his hot laps. He's done a 110 dead so far. He's currently in P11, and he took the first couple of corners again pretty rough. So these drivers are sort of just exceeding the track limits a bit too often for my liking.
But you didn't even race, so you can't comment.
I can comment because I didn't race, therefore No, but I got the best time out of anyone. I got 0 seconds.
Who's P12 at the moment on a 111.3. Certainly find quite a bit of time. Comes into turn 2, easily taken. Doesn't outbrake himself, and he hits the apex pretty well. DRS deployed down, well, what is actually a crest, actually, as I'll call it, because we definitely like to do rallying around here. Into turn 3. Again, nicely on it. Oh, he's got a little wide actually on the exit of turn 3 there. Couldn't get the turn in, I think may have been the issue there, or he's got understeer in that car. Into turn 5, but once again, this time misses the apex completely at turn 5. Now into the final sector of turn 6 and 7, much better through there at least. Taking quite a fair bit of speed. 2 more corners to go for XRL Draco Fire in the McLaren. His teammate actually is not too far up ahead of him in terms of position-wise, so the McLarens need to improve a little bit. Through the last corner, absolutely fine there from Draco Fire. Is this going to be an improvement? It is by a tenth, but he remains in P12.
Interestingly, Ice Best did improve. He improved by half a second in the end. He's now done a 109.5, but he's on a better lap time as the rain is starting to come down here in Austria.
Yeah, the rain is coming down.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there was a 43% chance of rain in qualifying here, viewers, so everybody was trying to get the laps in, and it is starting to come down now, so this could be potentially everybody's final runs as we come into the... Well, we've still got 6 minutes of qualifying to go. Originals, who's P7 at the moment, is going to complete the lap. He's going to improve. Where does he go? P4 on a 108, well, 108.699.
Breaking news, we're going to go to Ted Kravitz live in Scotland. Ted, how's the weather looking? Lee, this is your time to shine.
I think that's you, Lee. You're the only Scotsman here.
Oh, you never know, Chris might be scored. Oh, it's...
Ted Kravitz is just not doing it well.
I'm just not going to comment. The rain... Oh, sorry, Ted. The rain is definitely... I think this is everybody's final attempt at a flying lap. I'm going to try and find one of the people I need to find.
The range
Jolly Pop
in the final sector.
Jolly Pop is in P7 at the moment. He's in the final sector. He's got 2 into misses the apex completely, and actually he's going into the box because he's ruined his lap. Who's now into P6 on a 1090. Oh, gets a bit of tail slip actually coming through turn 2. I wonder if the guys are losing a bit of traction here, and I wonder if anyone's actually going to be improving at all with these, well, what is less than 5 minutes to go here.
Alex Ham's about to cross the line. He doesn't improve. He did a 108.7 that lap.
I think think they're coming to the very end of the life here in terms of what they can do. Gravedigger coming through turn 5, beautifully taken there from Gravedigger. That was absolutely fantastic. Into the final sector, coming through turn 6, rides the curb on the inside there well, and the turn 7. This potentially could be an improvement for Gravedigger. He's got 2 corners to go. Comes into turn 8, once again clipping the apex well and avoiding going wide on the exit in through the last corner. Could have taken a bit more speed, but is this going to be an improvement? I don't think it is. No, it's not.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit. I think it's
coming to
too
the pits now. Yeah, Lawrence. Lawrence D8, is now coming into the pits.
Yeah,
Track's far too wet now.
We got Huge Bob, CFC 1888. If he was born in 1888, he's doing well for 100 and how old is that going to be? 126 years old, or 127, depending on where he was born. But
I'm pretty sure he wasn't born in a year.
He's a Celtic fan.
Way!
That's when they were founded.
Sent me a message. My bro is watching and says he can't hear us. Chris, have you put it through both?
Yeah.
Oh, check the stream is working.
Stream is working.
Are you sure? Unlike your GP2 streams.
Says we've got 3 viewers. I've got all the audio working. Got my mic working. Everything's working. Even the footage is working.
And Tank Panda
is in the wall.
At turn 1.
Is he ghosting?
Yeah.
He's a ghost on my screen.
Yeah.
Hashtag disqualification.
Right. I'm going to get on and have a look myself. See if I can hear it. Chris, check your volumes as well. That might be an idea.
Oh, I have checked the volume.
Going out on intermediate tires for some reason.
Right, I can hear us both. I can hear me and Lee on the stream, so I don't know what your brother is hearing, Eyes, but I can certainly hear myself and Lee. Maybe tell him maybe to unmute it. Could be an idea.
Wait, Adam, why are you saying this? If he can't hear us, then how would you know to unmute us?
Maybe he's figured it out by himself. He's actually still out there on option tyres. Is he going to attempt there's 3 people actually out on track.
Yes. Originals, Lawrence,
Tank Panda.
The track doesn't look like it's wet. He's just going to be a little wide at turn 1, actually.
Well, they've got several sets of option tyres, and they're not going to use it all in the race.
There is that, and the fact they've still got DRS as well has been given to them as an option.
Yeah.
That's because no one's gone out there.
But the track's far too wet.
But the track is... But saying that, Lawrence's traction out of turn 2 was really good.
You know what, I'm going to go on board.
Actually. Let's go on board.
Has gone back in.
He's P5 at the moment. There are 5 cars out on circuit. Admit that someone is coming out of the pits now, so there's going to be 6. Saying that, there was the point of them coming in. They're not going to have time to do a lap. But Lawrence, a little bit of a slide through turn 5. It wasn't too shabby at saying that through turn... he slid it through 6 and 7. I think this is the wettest part of the track.
Yeah.
Through the final sector.
You can see the spray on the racing line, so...
Yeah, he's gone wide there, he's realised.
Definitely intermediate territory in the final sector, but in the first sector it looks very dry.
First sector looked okay.
There's that final sector. Gravedigger now starting a lap.
Yeah, Gravedigger starting a lap. It's probably going to be a little bit pointless, but we'll have a look on nonetheless anyway.
He turned off his DRS mid-straight, which we
know
that's oversteer.
The back end had gone there. Let's go and see
how Huge Bob takes.
On the racing line as well, turn 1. And he's missed the
no
effect
chance
completely.
of improving your lap.
And Huge Bob has just had to get off the track because there was a McLaren.
Yeah, Huge Bob has given up.
Yeah, he had no choice because he nearly got forced out of the way by Draco.
Tank Panda's having another go, but
I'm pretty sure that was a Williams.
I don't see him improving at all.
I'm pretty sure it was a Williams, Chris, not a McLaren. Oh no, it is Draco Fire. My apologies.
Thank you, Boobers.
Let's see if Draco can improve, actually. This could be interesting. He seems to be the only person, actually, who's going full throttle. But looking at the end of his Sector 2 time, he's already 50 seconds by turn 5. He's lost a lot of time. I think this is the end of quali here. So, we'll do a rundown even though we're not quite finished yet. And Killers takes probably a slightly shocking pole position with a 108.3. Craig Senna is second on a 108.5 with Alex Ham in third place. He's the man on form at the moment, and he's up the top knit once again. Originals is fourth on a what I'm going to call a 108.7. Lawrence, new driving tonight, he's fifth with Gravedigger sixth. Jolly Pop in the Merc is seventh with Huge Bob in eighth. Brutal Reaper starts down in P9. You're probably disappointed with that, as will Eyes the Best, who's P10. Tank Panda is 11th, and Draco starts P12 before we have Lee in his Lotus, me in the Marussia, and Chris in his Caterham, all of us going for different constructors because we hate each other. But nonetheless, that is qualifying over. And did anybody actually notice what conditions we're going to be like for the race?
0% chance.
No rain.
No rain at
Overcast.
all.
So,
we're going to see some decent pace.
we've had our predictions. We got zilch for qualifying. Predictions for the race, anyone?
Oh no! I just
Oh.
gone. Oh, and he just. Oh, dearie me. Well, that's. Probably.
Yeah, using part of the internet. Unnecessary.
Why couldn't he just go into his room? Unless...
That means we're now down to 11 drivers. Although saying that, was Eyes the Best anybody's pick for the win?
But...
No. That's okay then. So, Lee, we'll go over to you first. Who's your prediction?
I'm going to stick with Alex Ham. He looked decent qualifying, and he did have a good race pace last week in Canada, so I'm going to stick with him.
Christopher?
I'm going to stick with Craig Senna, aka Craig David, because Killers. I've got a reason. It's because Killers, the last time he was in the league, which was Abu Dhabi last year, he may have messed up.
Yes, I remember that. I remember stewarding and watching that race, and I thought, how the hell, why has he done that?
He was like a lap ahead.
But anyways, yeah, I'm sticking with Lawrence, and we're all sticking with our original decisions from qualifying, so that means, obviously, Chris's prediction is that second, Lee's is third, and mine is fifth, but anything can happen in 36 laps. Obviously, we are now down to 11 drivers on the grid, and for some reason I'm starting last, which is...
The game hates you.
Saying that, actually, I did start last in my own race because I disconnected, but...
Ooh!
It wasn't my fault. Well, it was probably like...
To be fair, at least you turned up for your race.
Yeah, exactly. I turned up, and I still managed to get a third place out of it as well.
Yeah, hashtag luck.
Well, partly luck.
Yeah, a few disconnections helped, but...
Yeah, I mean, LGS could...
As I
You had to have
mentioned,
good
with my strategy, the only person who would have finished ahead of me of those who disconnected was T. Yeah, exactly. So nonetheless, we've got 36 laps here for what is the final night with F5 on channel 1 and T6 on channel 2. You don't want to watch that stream because Michael is on there and you don't want to listen to him. Trust me. You'd much rather listen to a Scotsman.
Everyone just sit your wrist right now.
If only you could. It would be good if you could mute a certain person so they can't hear him.
Oh, you know, I can actually do that.
I'm joking.
Oh.
As I said, 36 laps, dry conditions. Once again, it's another overcast race. At least it's not going to rain, so we should see some decent pace. But we will get out onto the track and see. Well, we'll see who's going to cross the line, get those well-deserved 25 points, and take a leap into the championship. I mean, it is pretty close actually in the championship at the moment, especially between the likes of Craig Senna and Alex Ham, who's actually won the last few races. As I said, he is the man in form at the moment, but he can be beaten. He is not. It's not impossible.
Do you want to know an interesting stat?
How many times you've fallen asleep before a race?
3. But no. Killers is the only one to actually get the correct car on pole position for this track.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, very good point. Well done, Chris.
Well, Boris, you didn't help, but in F1.
Yeah, you're Lewis Hamilton. Go to the back of the grid.
Yeah, but did I end up in the right position where
No.
I did? Yes.
No.
Not Massa. You're in Massa's car.
Wait.
Sorry. My apologies on that one. I'll do better next time. As I can actually see Draco fire in P11 starting on the prime tires, but there's the fourth and the fifth red light. And it's lights out and away we go. Lee, why are you going forward off the line? Stop it. As they go down to turn one, Killers has had a decent start. Actually, he's going to hold off Craig Senna into turn one as Alex Ham tries to go around the outside. And Killers has gone off track and Craig Senna is going to take full advantage. And indeed he does. He's already gone ahead of the Williams driver. Killers bottling it at turn one. But as they come up the hill now to turn two, is he going to make a move on the Red Bull around the outside? He's trying it. And he's outbroken himself. And we've got a jumping Mercedes further down the back. I think it was Jolly Pop. And here comes Alex Ham now on the inside of Killers. Down over the hill in towards turn three. Can the Toro Rosso get ahead of the Williams? Into turn three. He's pretty similar on the brakes, but Killer's trying to hang around the outside. He's got the traction. They're still side by side through four. And he's going to have the inside into turn five. And he should be able to hang on to this position. But Alex Ham trying to...
He's gone wide.
But
Collision.
India. Thankfully, nobody went off track. But Killers remains P2. And I think it's Lawrence. Yes, it is indeed Lawrence. D89 is now to P3. So Alex Ham down into fourth. Behind him, he's got a swarm of the McLaren and the second Williams driver. So that's going to be Gravedigger, who's made up a place off the start into P5. And then we've got the Williams, as I mentioned earlier, of F1 Originals. Originals is on the prime tyre, and he's now under threat from Jolly Pop on the inside of the Mercedes into turn one. Can Jolly Pop outbrake him? No, Originals just about hanging on, but Jolly Pop's got a much better line through, and the option tyre is giving him better grip and better traction, and he should have this move.
You got Brutal Reapers right behind both of them, and he's going to go on the inside. Oh, he's back there.
Is he going to make it? I don't think he's going to make it through right, but Jolly Pop. Oh, a little bit of a bit of a touch there. I don't know because
a little bit of sidepod glitch, and it actually caused Brutal Reapers to get through there.
Sidepod glitch.
It wasn't a sidepod. It just seemed to just stop him for a second. As Brutal Reapers having a look on the inside of Jolly Pop into turn three. Not going to happen, but Original seems to be struggling on these prime tyres, and behind him he's got the Ferrari, who's also on prime tyres, which is Tank Panda.
And there's another incident between Killers and the Force India in front. The Force India had to go wide, the same place Alex Ham did, and Alex Ham tried to look at the back of the Force India. And Gravedigger is now going past Alex Ham around the outside before turn 8, and he gets the move done. Great move by Gravedigger up into P4.
Fantastic from Gravedigger. Craig Senna is pulling out a lead. He's got about a 2-second gap already over Killers, and there's a big swarm of people battling for the final podium paying positions. Lawrence D89 holds P3 for the time being, but he's got Gravedigger all over him like a rash, and he's got Alex Ham behind him, so three-way scrap here. But I think Lawrence might be able to hold on into turn two because he's getting a bit of a slipstream from the Williams of Killers in front, and indeed, I think Gravedigger gave him a little nudge into turn two, but it doesn't matter. He's got the traction on the outside, and in fact, this is just going to help Alex Ham. All three of them have actually got DRS, so it's a DRS train between these guys. Can Alex Ham get close enough to make a dive bomb on Gravedigger? No, he can't. And it's as you were for the time being, but behind them, in sixth place, Brutal Reapers has made a move on Jolly Pop, and he's gaining very quickly, actually, on these guys. Looking picture is Brutal. Indeed, it is Brutal Reapers. Reapers is actually flying at. He's just got a little wide at 7, but he is flying at the moment.
Not as flying as the race leader, though. He's absolutely storming ahead with probably about 1.5 to 2 seconds gap already.
Indeed, he is. Alex Ham is falling a little bit off the back of Gravedigger through that last sector, and in fact, Lawrence is catching pretty quickly to the back of Killers, so I'm going to stay on board with P4 Gravedigger as the start, as I said, starting the start of lap 4 now. Up the hill in towards turn 2, and Killers has gone a little wide actually. He's gone very wide, in fact, and Lawrence, who's got a much better traction, out of turn 2 compared to Gravedigger. Could he have a run on the back of that Williams as they come into turn 3? He's thinking about it, but he just pulls the car back in onto the racing landing. Once again, Killer's going very wide, and Lawrence has got to run round turn 4. He's going to have the inside into turn 5. Can he get this move done on the inside? Killers has gone very wide again, and Lawrence has taken P2. Killers is all over the place It's not Rallycross Killers, it's F1, and Gravedigger around the outside of 6.
Great move. Oh, there's a bit of a collision between Alex Ham and Sideboard.
Oh, they've both gone.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Lee, why do you always have to ruin someone's race?
Oh, dear.
You're funny.
Oh, dear. Well, I've got that on my footage, and Chris...
Yeah, I was on board with Alex Ham.
After the race, Gravedigger horribly cuts and extends turn 1 as he tries to close down the back of Lawrence D89 for what is now P2 and 3. Craig said is probably loving this. His championship rival has had an incident in his early stage, and he is comfortably in the lead, pulling away from the rest of the field.
3-second gap.
Originals now on Tank Panda going up towards turn 2. It's a great move down on the inside. Tank Panda, though, with good traction on the outside as Craig said, has lost connection!
He's gone! Oh, he's lost connection! Lawrence is in the... Oh, no! Oh, my God. More and more drama. We're only on lap 5 of this F5 division round Austria. Oh, my... Craig's going to be livid with that. Oh, the Alex Ham has probably had a huge sigh of relief, and he's probably thinking, get in there. That is so unfortunate for Craig Senna. He was out in the lead, he was cruising, and it's now all just gone to pot through no fault of his own.
Tank Panda goes through the gravel and ends up losing not 1 but 2 places because Alex Ham is back up into 8th place with knowing that his rival is out of this race.
So where's Killers in all this? Now where has he come out?
Of the closet. Interestingly, Originals and Alex Ham both have 10-second penalties. Alex Ham got a 10-second penalty for that incident.
Indeed. Well, obviously we'll look at that later on, as I'm still on board with this battle for the lead. Gravedigger is within the DRS detection point of Lawrence in front, but he's not quite close enough to make a move down towards turn 3. And, well, if you think about this, guys, my prediction, I just know who to go for, you know. Craig's connection can be dodgy. Risky move there to go for him. Alex Ham having that incident. Obviously, we've still got 30 more laps to go. It is, you know, quite a long-ish race, even if it was only like a minute and 9 to 10 seconds a lap.
Can I have a backup? Can I have a backup one, seeing as my one disconnected in the early stages?
Backups.
I did say Gravedigger at the start, so.
You didn't. No, you didn't.
I clearly did.
Lawrence, he's going really... Oh, there's a bit of lag on brewery.
Killers is in the pits. He completely messed up the pit entry.
This could be pretty good. Lawrence in his first race in XRL. Could he get a debut win?
XRL Killers is in the pits.
Joining the likes of myself on a debut win.
Bobbers, do you have a stammer?
Do I have a what?
Stammer.
No. You include the podium, because I got a debut podium.
Yeah, I got a debut podium as well.
Yeah, but you didn't get a win though, Chris, did you?
I actually did. Technically, I did. It did, because that was my first ever race in XRL, bitch. And I won by 17 seconds.
Your first race in modern, today, F1 cars. Did you win your first race in that then?
I came second and was catching the leader by 7 tenths a lap after being held up.
Then, so it doesn't matter.
Bobbers, how many times have you won in the F1 division?
Chris, how many times have you won in GP2 or that?
Once.
Have you won in GP2? No.
Yeah, but that's because... No, because I can say this, because I've been commentating GP2.
Well, that's your own.
So how can I race something and I commentate? Sort it out. And...
He retires at the time.
Hey! Banter.
They, says the one that disconnected in Canada.
There's the one who fell asleep and didn't do his race last night.
Yeah, but you can't really say wait for that, because I've done that once.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be doing that, Chris.
Adam, right? Oh, well.
And everyone was asking me, why is it not set up? And I had to freaking sort it out.
Well, Adam, right, I'm giving you practice for next week while I'm not going to be here.
So I can practice with Lee.
You know what? I feel...
Seeing as though we're doing 100%, everyone's doing 100% next week.
Exactly, and I get to miss it. Ka-ching!
Including tier 6.
Including tier 6, indeed.
Interesting.
It would be funny.
I'll tell you what, Lee. Lee, fancy doing F5 next week with Adam?
Yes.
Banter. You and Lee can have all the time in the world, Adam.
It's like the team hotel again.
Funny. Question is, was it 5-star or half-star?
Somebody is pitting. Whoever was in P6 has just gone into the box for their first pit stop.
Well, it's not originals, so it must be Alex Ham.
Probably is.
It is Alex Ham.
And actually, looking at the three at the front, Gravedigger's dropped off Lawrence, and in fact could be closing in by Brutal Reapers, actually. So
Alex Ham has gone in, and he's on the prime tyres.
What kind of strategy are you expecting here, guys, for 50%?
2-stop.
What?
What kind of strategy are we expecting?
2-stop.
Well, last night in the F4 division, we saw a split of 2 and 3 stops. The 2-stopper is the quicker strategy, but more people wanted to go for 3 because they wanted the fresher rubber, but it wasn't the way to go. The 2-stopper is better.
It depends how quick you are, so if you're like Nicole, you can do like a 10-stop.
Can you do 2 option stunts in a 2-stop?
Well, if you start on primes, then yes.
The options can do about 10 laps.
So yeah, to get your primes.
As one of the Force Indians has actually made their pit stop, I think it's Brutal Reapers. I know Jolly Pop's just in the pits and he's gone to prime tyres now.
XRL Draco now coming through to start lap 10. He's gone a lot further than Craig Senna.
Well, no shit.
Yeah, shit. That's why I said it.
As Jolly Pop's just come out of the pits and he's come up behind the Williams of Killers, both on prime tyres, but Jolly Pop's tyres are about 3 laps fresher. He's in the slipstream of the Williams, but he's not quite close enough to make a move into turn 2. So Killer's getting that undercut, is making his way back through the field. He's actually pulling away from Jolly Pop, even though he's got the DRS.
Brutal Reapers managed to come out in 5th place.
Very good stop by the Force India crew then. And he's got a bit of clean air as well.
You know what? I fancy doing a bit of a free stop. Not free stop. A free lap.
Gravedigger's been in the box, I think.
Yep.
So Lawrence is actually going for another lap on these option tyres. Maybe he's trying to do more on the options and less on the prime.
Well, I'm going to do a 3 lap stint of watching a certain...
Fair enough. As Killers is all over the back.
Chris, do one of your cars. He's one of mine.
I don't have any cars.
Killers went wide at turn 9 and Jolly Pop's got a real chance now as they come into turn 1. It's a 3-way scrap for 7th, 8th and 9th. Killers dive bombing down the inside of the McLaren. And Jolly Pop's taken full advantage, taking the pair of them. Which McLaren was that? It was Draco fired. Killer's getting very agitated underneath that helmet, and he's just lost position to Jolly Pop, who gains 2 as a result.
Lee, just saying, I don't have any cars to watch, so I can do what I want when I want.
He does what he wants. He does what he wants. Righteous tag. He does what he wants.
Hashtag sleep.
Like horses. As Killers has gone off track again, this time at turn 3.
Lawrence is in. Lawrence is in the pit.
I don't know what Killers was doing then. Either he outbroke himself or he just...
Does what he wants.
Well, he does what he wants, yeah. And he's now down into last. Well, what he did was put him last. And then Lawrence, I think, has lost the lead. Actually, has he lost the lead?
Huge Bob. He's lost the lead to Huge Bob, who hasn't pitted.
Huge Bob needs to pit, but he's come...
He's still a net leader. But Gravedigger is right behind him.
And we'll get DRS.
Yes.
Has he gone on to options or prime?
Both drivers are on prime. So,
both on prime as the Toro Rosso of, is that Alex Ham? Indeed, Alex Ham's just made an easy move on Draco Fire for what is P7. Obviously, Draco Fire on these prime tyres. He's going a lot. Oh, he's actually let Draco back through. He's illegally overtaken him. Fair play from him. All it means is he's just going to be stuck behind this McLaren for a little while longer.
Is it me or am I hearing a lot of first?
First,
Yeah. Hashtag marriage.
you won't get
No.
first gear. The second gear is maybe the extreme lowest you'll get. As Alex Ham's got a much better run through turn 6 and 7, and he's on the inside of Draco 5 before turn 8. Easy move, clean this time around, and he's up into P7 as he's that huge bob that's pitted. I think it was.
Yes, it is.
It is, and he's going to come out around Draco Fire, and yes, he's coming behind Draco.
Gravedigger and Brutal Reapers both have DRS on the back of Lawrence.
Is there a three-way battle for the lead then? So
Yeah.
Brutal Reapers, who paid 2 laps earlier than Lawrence, Gravedigger paid 1 lap earlier than Lawrence, so higher strategies could get involved in this, but at the moment, yeah, as you said, Chris, three-way battle for the lead, and who's actually in P4 at the moment?
Car.
It's F1 Originals who hasn't pitted.
But he's on a different strategy. Cool, so we'll keep an eye out for him later in the race, but the front three very close on the mini-map. I'm going to get on board with that as soon as I finish watching Draco 5 this lap. He's coming under pressure actually from the Red Bull of Huge Bob. He's actually gone into another stint of prime tyres. He's going to come on the inside of Draco 5 before into turn 8. That's a great move from
Brutal Reapers is now up to P2.
as Draco Fire actually boxes. I've got Killers. Killers have to be on pole position. Down in P8.
Oh, for me.
Sorry, Lee, is this boring you?
It's the fact that he can't drink on the job.
Hooray! Oh, Lee always drinks on the job. He drinks and drives. Oh no, wait, sorry, that's Dan. My apologies.
No, it's Lee that phones you up and drives.
Yeah.
No, I use the phone and drive. As you know, Robert's in Canada.
Indeed.
Brutal Reapers has lost the place back again.
All that seems to be doing is helping Lawrence. He's pulled up a little bit of a gap over those two as they're squabbling over for P2. So are all three of them on the prime
Yes.
tyre then, actually, just to confirm?
Because they do.
They do what they
Oh, a little bit of a contact between Brutal Reapers and Gravedigger.
Maybe they like a little bit touchy-feely, Chris.
Yeah, there's only a two-way battle. All I can say is I recommend you that you tell you.
Alright. Maybe I don't want to.
Brutal Reapers now DRS activating, he's going to the inside. Oh, he's caused a side pod. That is entirely his fault. He's slowing down to let him back through. No, he's not. I lie.
No, it could be. Okay, he's not now.
So F1 Originals in the pit, making his first stop.
It is. He's going to come out behind his teammates. He's going to come out into clean air in P8, but he's got a lot of work to do. And, well, Lawrence is probably loving the fact that incident happened between Gravedigger and Brutal Reapers. As you mentioned, Chris, was that entirely Brutal Reapers' fault, not giving
Yep, went down the inside, cut the corner, and just basically Gravedigger wasn't expecting him. Well, really, Brutal Reaper should have gone there because he. I'd say that is more.
Obviously, that can be looked at after the completion as Killers, once again, he's been very scruffy, Killers, since this race started. That, you know, he may have gotten pole position, all fair and well, but he's really struggling. in the actual race. He's down in P7 now. Look how far he is off the lead. Actually, is he coming into the pits? Yes, he is coming into the pits. Is this a retirement? No, oh, he's hit the wall. Has he lost an end plate? No, he hasn't. Lucky boy. Is this a pit? Is he coming in for an early pit stop? I think he is.
Be free. See what tires he's going on to.
No, I'm still involved with this. He's gone to another set of primes.
That is.
He could come out behind Draco Fire here, actually.
Could be close.
Well, Draco's going to have the better run through turn 1. He's just ahead.
Over a second. Draco might get DRS, but I think he's...
Interesting. Killers now has a 10-second penalty.
Alex Originals. Both Williams have an in-game penalty.
Indeed they do, but the man on the move at the moment is Alex Ham in P5. He is pulling away from 6th place man Huge Bob, and he's closing in on the back of, I believe that's Jolly Pop for P4, so all is not lost yet for Alex Ham. P4 can still be a decent result. Taking a look at the fastest lap times at the moment, and yeah, three people have got penalties at the moment. Fastest
Craig Senna,
surprisingly, has still gone to Craig Senna with a 1099 before he disconnected.
It just shows you the immense pace in which he just
shows how much pace he had for.
Indeed. Well, obviously, these people probably set their best lap times on the options and not on the...
To be fair, I had to say sorry to Craig Senna because I told him in the lobby that he wouldn't win. I still backed him for the win though because I had faith. He was paying off.
He's like, nah, we're not going to let you have this win. We want you to lose.
We want you to be a Roberts.
Was this Brutal Reaper's coming to the pits? Yes, it is.
It is. That's another early pit stop. So I think Brutal Reapers is 3 stopping.
See if will he go on to options?
Well, he's got set, there's 18 more laps, including the one they're on, so he should be going 2 options. He's gone prime.
Primes. Yeah, Reliable Prime tires are a second slower than the options.
He does what he wants.
Someone else has pitted, and that's Jolly Pop, and Jolly Pop's gone to options.
And that's the correct way of a free stop strategy.
The Originals, who is now on option tyres, he's actually leapfrogged Jolly Pop, so he's up into P6 now.
And probably going to be catching Brutal Reapers at a fast rate of mile.
Jolly Pop comes out just behind Tank Panda in 8th place.
Huge Bob, the sole remaining Red Bull, is 4 and is still
having a good race.
Well, see, this is like the second time. Actually, no, I think it's the first time.
Wait, is it? He's returned from XRL.
Yeah, he used to be the same Celtic guy that used to be.
Senna. No. He used to be an F5000 on F1 2013.
He used to be an F5000 in 2013. He's still in F5000 on 2014. As Alex Ham now pits from P3. And the Celtic supporter is now up into the podium position once again. And Alex Ham is on option tyres.
There's a little bit of lag going on here from Originals' point of view. And actually, Originals has now set the fastest lap of the race on a 1099, but it's quicker. Is it a quicker one? No, it's not. It's 7 thousandths off. Damn.
Bang.
The Huge Bob is now up into P3, but he's got Brutal Reapers all over the back of him at the moment, but I can't watch that battle because I'm doing my checks on their Originals. Chris, are you on board with that battle?
Who, what, where?
P3, Huge Bob versus...
I'm on that. As Brutal Reapers just absolutely cuts that like a daisy cropper.
Like a what?
Daisy cropper.
A daisy cropper, that's it.
Oh, and he's hit the back of Huge Bob, and Huge Bob just absolutely does something.
What?
Going
Well, he kind of went wide, then turned in and basically caught Reapers out. That's going to have to be a really...
Huge Bob. Was it a legal pet injury?
I can't guarantee. I'm going to say no, because Reaper's hit him. I'll say it again. Now I've reviewed it. Reaper's hit him, which put him outside the pit box, and then he had to come back in, and then Reaper's tried past him. That would have been a fair pit injury.
That's the only problem with this circuit, with the pit entry on the same line as where the corner is. You know, people can't really determine whether or not they're going to be pitting.
This is why people need to be in game chat.
Or have a mic.
Or purchase a recording microphone that records their voice. Or just get a smartphone.
Or just shut up.
Or just get some whiskey.
Oh, yeah, that's another option.
Ah, Bobbers, are you getting tired now?
That's a random one.
It's a random one. So, the person who slept early this morning is tired. The person who's Scottish and sleeps all the time is tired. The person who hasn't slept for over 24 hours is still managing to be wide awake.
Because nobody cares.
Huge Bob cares because he just absolutely daisy copped the first one.
Maybe he's a lawnmower.
Yeah, one of the most expensive lawnmowers in the world, but that's not the point. See, you like this new turn of phrase now.
Fucking hell, she's...
You say that was a you said that was
Explicit language. Explicit language.
Adam, I dare say that you said that it was a one-time thing with you yawning. That is the second time within a minute. Are you trying to maybe go to sleep live on stream or something?
I'll get over it.
No, do you remember when Dan fell asleep in India seasons ago?
What about Monaco last year?
I thought it was unwell that he had to get Swish by then.
Well, no, Swish came in because it was so boring. As Dan said. As soon as Swish came in, Dan was like, "Hey!" As Huge Bob absolutely turned into a daisy copper again.
We all love daisy croppers.
Hashtag Call of Duty World War. Just for people.
We don't care.
No, okay, right.
A little bit harsh, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's made of whiskey and snow.
Tank Panda in P7 is coming under some threat now from Huge Bob behind, who's got fresh option tyres, so this battle could start to heat up a little bit. Ferrari versus Red Bull. Going through turn, you can just see the speed difference that Huge Bob can take compared to Tank Panda. Tank Panda's tyres seem to be second hand at best, and well, here comes Huge Bob. He's got the DRS, he's onto the inside before turn one. Ooh, Tank Panda trying to hang around the outside, but Huge Bob he was first into the corner, he did have the line, so I think he's fine on that one.
But in front, there's a battle between Alex Ham and Jolly Bob. Alex Ham has DRS. And Alex Ham is up into P5 once again. Extending his championship lead by a minute. Points at the break.
Actually, no, it depends how close Originals is.
Originals is ahead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of where he is in the championship.
All by himself. Nonetheless, Alex Ham now has the fastest lap time. Craig Senna finally loses that lead.
It took nearly 20 laps though. As Tank Panda comes into the box.
Well, probably not the final time.
Well, I've actually now watched everybody. Happy day!
Guess what? You can all look at the battles with me! Whilst LGS now redoes them all again, like a third time.
I'm not actually.
Oh, he's doing them twice, he's still being sweaty about it.
Draco Fire is coming in for his pit stop, and the race leader is also in, so Draco Fire is actually nearly a lap down.
Well, you won't get a lap down, you've got to stop that.
Those Gravedigger. Oh, Gravedigger might get held up in the pits. No, he won't.
No, Draco's already on it. He's already out. So Lawrence has gone to option.
It can happen in this game.
Where's Brutal Reapers in all this? He's coming down the pit straight on these prime tyres. So he's jumped. He's back ahead of Gravedigger, but is he going to be anywhere near his teammate? Oh, he's going to be behind him.
Originals has also jumped Gravedigger.
Well, Originals has another pit stop to make.
As does Brutal Reapers.
Well, he could go to the end on these.
He could, but why would he want it?
It's a lot. He's going to be asking a lot. It depends. Does he want to try and maintain the position where he is, or does he want the fresh rubber? Because he's obviously his main rival is not his teammate in front. It's going to be Gravedigger, who's actually in P4. Is he in P4 or is he P3? Well, P4.
It's like net P3.
Brutal Reapers will need to do 18 laps on.
Yeah, and he's got. Well, he's done. Well, this is his 8th lap as it is already. He's got another 10 to do after this one. Does he go into the box? Well, nope.
Yes, he does, and that's an illegal pit entry.
That's an illegal pit entry.
Hashtag.
You guys run it down?
Yes.
Hashtag Daisy Cropper, the first pit entry. Sorry, the third pit entry. Daisy Cropper. Ooh, and he nearly got held up there by the Williams of someone.
Originals is in. First last set of option tires.
And you know what? Alex Ham is ahead of Brutal Reapers.
Banter. See, that's the difference between a 2 and a 3 stop. 3 stop's not working.
The difference between Banjo and Banjo.
2 stop is where to go. Jollypop's actually ahead of him, and he's in P4.
Gravedigger is in P2, and he's only just ahead of them. But Lawrence, nonetheless, is absolutely flying. Hashtag bring him up into F4. Get him.
I think I might actually win this one.
You said this a long time ago. In fact, I think you said this for Canada. I'm gonna win because Yari's not here. Taken out by him.
Alex Hammer's done a 1-0. He's done a 108.5 as his fast.
Lawrence has also done a 108.5.00.
What can Gravedigger do? He's a second slower on his quickest lap as original. But Alex Ham's in the box. As is P4 Jollypop, so that means Brutal Reapers is
Lawrence's lap Draco. Draco is a lap then.
So I'm pretty sure Draco would just be happy with the point. XRL Killers, the pulse hitter.
Well, Alex,
he's got a point anyway because we're in the final 10 laps.
Indeed, well, Alex Hammer's come out in P6. There's a battle going on for P4 and 5, and it's Original against Huge Bob. Original's on the inside, and nicely done from the Williams, and he's got the DRS to pull away. So Originals is now P4, and a net P4 at that as well.
So the pulse hitter, interestingly, has gone from first to 9th. This is why I said I wasn't going to vote. The man favourite for no break in Demolition Derby. That shows the record.
Well, he proved he had no brakes when he went into turn 3 after he had after he knocked Draco Fire off at turn 1.
That was Draco Fire. That was Alex Ham.
But yeah, he went to the side of him as he tried to make.
That was Alex Ham.
And then into turn 3.
Huge Bob's in the pit.
No, that was something that I noticed, Chris. Wasn't actually on. You didn't see it, I did.
And Originals is now ahead of Alex Ham.
I'll tell you one thing, Gravedigger is being caught by Brutal Reapers behind. Reapers has done a 108.8 as his quickest lap, and he's more than 7/10 quicker than Gravedigger. What's the gap between them?
Probably about 7-8 seconds.
10. Let's have a look. So he's under the Pirelli. It's about 10 seconds.
He's just gone under him.
He's going to need to get a bit more time then. So Gravedigger over the line does a 110 something. A mid 110, I think it was, as Brutal Reapers comes through the final corner. What's he going to do? It's a high 109. Actually, let's have a look to double check.
Oh, nice track extend.
So, yeah, Gravedigger has been doing mid 109s consistently, whereas Brutal Reapers actually did a 109.7 on that last lap, so Gravedigger was actually quicker. And then I'll look at Lawrence just because we can. What's he done? Well, 2 in the 108s and then a 109.6 on that last lap, so he's comfortable and he's cruising.
He believes.
Got nothing to worry about. He's got 6 laps to go, just got to keep it clean, consistent, and he'll, as I mentioned, he should get his debut win.
I don't want to be harsh, but just someone just spite you.
Funny. Oh, Brutal Reapers has made a lot of mistakes in this lap. Look at this lap time. It's a 1 minute 11 as XRL Button has sent me a message saying he'd like to talk to me and Dan afterwards.
Is Dan even online?
Hey, whatever that. Probably not. Tell you one thing.
You'll be watching Ipswich.
You'll be watching Ipswich League.
Let's see what it comes to. Anyone want to think?
Alex Ham's actually
2-1
P5 now. Jolly Pop is 6th, and there's a battle for P7 between Huge Bob and Tank Panda. This battle resuming once again, and Huge Bob is ahead of the Ferrari driver. Behind them is Killers, who's trying to close in out of rate and knots, but here comes the Ferrari of Tank Panda as they come in towards turn 2, much later on the brakes. Takes a cheeky look up on the inside, but realised he wasn't quite close enough to make the move stick. Ipswich are losing to Southampton, get in there. It's in long. Tottenham are drawing at home to Burnley.
And Mill are going to be.
Burnley actually were 2-0 up within 8 minutes. Anyways, back to F1. Oh, Tank Panda having a look at turn 5 and Huge Bob. Huge Bob seems to be making a few errors here at the moment, and this is Tank Panda's opportunity to try and take another position for what is P.
I'll tell you who is making a lot more errors, and that's Brutal Reapers. He's fallen well off the bat.
Indeed it is. Oh, Tank Panda really pushing his luck there through turn 8, and he's lost a lot of ground to the back of Huge Bob. In fact, I wonder if he has to look in his mirrors actually, because Killers seems to be closing in.
Ouch.
Killers is on the prime tyres, so it's going to be quite hard for him to close up on the 2 guys ahead who are on the option tyres.
Indeed, but nothing's going to stop him.
Nothing can stop him.
Absolute